Hello, students. Welcome back to the class. A warm welcome for you. And yesterday, I started you a chapter named A Question of Space, which is written by Neera Kashyap. And in this chapter, I already told you that the hero of this chapter here is a small child named Vikrant who was studying in 11th standard, that is, as we call here as PUC first year. As you already know, this child is the son of the parents who are coming from medical department, that is his parents were doctors here. And as I already told you that the parents of Vikrant, they wanted their son also to become a doctor. And so they wanted their son to become expert, to gain as much as possible the knowledge, especially in physics, biology, as well as mathematics. Because it was the time for him to attend for the medical entrance test. Always the parents forced him, they pressured him to study a lot, and he was just like a consistent and a right thumb in his work. Always he was doing hard work, and continuously, regularly, repeatedly he was in the same moment here. And one day it so happens that I already informed you that he meets a person named who was Anuj, who was a photojournalist. You have to remember the points here. Vikrant was the only child of a successful doctor couple. This is very important. And now Vikrant was studying in 11th standard, and his parents constantly harp at him to be serious about his studies because they wanted him to get an admission into a premier medical college, and so they were always forcing him. The thing, it so happened that he had become a right thumb here. Regularly, that is repeated pattern of moment. The same thing he must have to repeat. Only books. He must have to be in contact with the books. Always his mother was observing him. His father was asking a number of questions constantly on mathematics, physics, as well as biology. These things made him very much bored. He was unable to take a decision how he must have to go through the matter. So when he met Anuj, he became a very close friend of him. This Anuj met him when they were on the jogging track. So Anuj was not just a person with a dynamic ideas on photographer, on the connectedness between human beings and all other living species, on self improvement as a part of human evolution, on the cosmos, that is nature or universe. He had turned into a friend very quickly, a much older friend. This Vikrant made very quick friendship with Anuj because now at the time Anuj was the person with whom this Vikrant was sharing his feelings. His parents were not at all ready to listen for him. They were not ready to question him. They were only ordering him. So he was very much bored up. He was, on one side, he was frightened to speak in front of his parents because they were showing in front of him that he must have to attend a medical entrance and he must have to work hard. That is his future. In this way, a lot of burden was forced upon the child. So he was unable to express his ideas. Especially, see, as students, you also, you can take your own examples. When much pressure is there, what happens? Take the example of pressure cooker which is in your home, which is in your kitchen room. Why the whistle gives the sound? Because inside there is pressure. Automatically, when the pressure is filled, it begins to whistle, it begins to make severe sound. But here the child is forced here. When the child is forced, he was unable to express his ideas. He was unable, because neither the mother was ready to listen nor the father was ready to listen. Both of them, they were having a aim in front of them about their child, that their child must have to attend the examination, he must have to attend the entrance examination, he must have to get admission in a good medical college. That was their intention. And this fellow, that is Vikrant, he was very much bored up. Automatically, when he met Anuj, who was a photographer, a photojournalist, he was journalist. So he came in contact with him. He began to share his ideas. Yes, you must have to be. So it is said that children must be friendly with the parents. More than the friends, they must have to share their feelings with the parents, so that they can get success in their life. If parents are not so educated, if parents are not literate, if they are unable to understand, yes, they can have good friends who won't deceive them by observing each and everything attitudes of the friends. Still, you are very small children, you may not understand this point, but to small feelings, small thinkings, you must have to make good friends. And if you share your problems with your friends, sometimes you may get good solutions also. So it is said, a friend in need is a friend indeed. So in the same way here, Anuj also helped Vikrant in the further of his life. Yes, you can see in the fourth paragraph. While reading a book borrowed from Anuj and experimenting with Anuj's old Kodak camera, Vikrant knew that his parents had watched his new interest with growing dismay. His class grades had dropped. He had started skipping group tuitions, even the extra school classes designed for the weekends. An only child, as tension grew between Vikrant and his parents, so did his identity with Anuj. See what happened when he got a friend who was able to listen his sorrows, who was able to listen his desires, whatever thinkings are there in his mind. This Vikrant began to share his feelings and began to borrow books from his friend Anuj and started experimenting on Anuj's old Kodak camera. See, today, if you want to take a photographer, you are having smartphones in your hands. Is it? A time was there when we were saying that children must not use the mobiles, smartphones, because it is very harmful. Today also it is harmful, but the thing is that because you are attending online classes, you must have to use it just for the time being, just to attend the class. And other things which are, for example, games are there, funny things are there. So more than that, if you play in the playground with your friends, it is more helpful than playing in the mobile. Playing games in the mobile is not so helpful. It won't bring so much of satisfaction compared when you play in the playgrounds with your friends. You must have to play in the open fields, so that it may become helpful for your good health. And this fellow, a time was there some days back, many some years back, what happened, if we want to take photos of good sceneries or family photos, we were visiting photo studios and their cameras were there, and so many people were also having cameras. And at that time it was said that Kodak camera, it is the best camera. So in the same way, here also this Vikrant, taking the old Kodak camera of Anuj, he started experimenting on it. Vikrant knew that his parents had watched his new interest. The parents, they are in a confusion. They are very much disturbed because they are observing. What they are observing? That our only one child, neither they were having still other sons or daughters, no one was there. Everything they depended upon Vikrant. They wanted him to become the best doctor, but ultimately what happened here, this fellow started showing interest in other things. mingling with Anuj here. So his grades dropped when he was attending the examination, when he was attending the test, automatically, because he has disturbed his mind from the field of education to the cameras, photographers, other magazines, books. He was, because with whom he had made friendship, he is a photojournalist here. So when he was involved in that, automatically the interest of studying about medicine, medical, began to minus here, and automatically his grades began to drop here. He had started skipping group tuitions, even the extra school classes designed for the weekends. He began to lose interest in the classes. And parents, because he was the only child, as I already explained for you, told for you, that Vikrant was the only child, they wanted their child to become a good doctor, they wanted him to get admission in a good medical college. So now this child Vikrant began to show interest with Anuj in his old camera, in his books, in his magazines, and he began to show that the grades were coming down. He was not getting good marks in the examinations. He was not attending the classes regularly. In this way, what happened? Because of this child, the tension grew between his parents, Vikrant and his parents. Parents wanted their child to become the best doctor, whereas Vikrant want to enjoy the life. So what happened? They did this identity with Anuj. They came to know that these all things are happening because of the friendship with Anuj. Then what happened? Panting Vikrant flopped onto a concrete bench just beyond which Anuj was exercising on the metal swing bars grouted into the earth. Nothing like a good workout under the blue sky. Much better than an air conditioned gym, said Anuj with satisfaction. Leaping off the bars to drop onto the bald grass. Hey, what's up? You look grim. Why? Now, both of them, because they met on the gym track. Once again, now when they were doing exercises, one day, what happened? When they were doing morning exercises, when they were on the swing bars. Swing means moving to and fro. You may have observed, especially in the more, and the children also play in the swings. They swing in the cradles. It is to and fro. Okay, so when they were doing exercises on the metal swing bars, what happened? At that time, Anuj observed that this Vikrant, he was not looking so good here. So Anuj, by observing his face, he marked his identity and asked him, "What's up? You look grim. What's the problem with you? Why your face is just like the shocking?" He asked the questions like that. Vikrant shrugged, and there was silence. Shrugged means just he loosened his shoulders as if he was tightened, and he said, and for some time he was completely silent. He was unable to speak. Then he asked, "Did your parents put pressure on you to become a photojournalist?" By this, we understand that the force of Vikrant is observed here. The force which is laid on the Vikrant by his parents is observed here. So, the first question that Vikrant asks for Anuj is whether your parents, your father and mother, did they put pressure on you to become a photojournalist? Because of your parents' interest, have you become a photojournalist? He asked the question. By this, every parent want their child to become a successful man. Every parents, what they want to become? They want their child, their children to become good. They must have to lead a good and satisfied life. Every parent see this dream. In this way only, Vikrant's parents also did. So, but what happened? Sometimes, because of the competitive world, some parents put force upon the children. That's all. and nothing else is going to happen. They here parents are not blaming the child, they are so that the child is not understanding, so that his mind must be concentrated. So what they are doing, they are telling him very neatly to concentrate on the books. This Vikrant took negatively in the beginning. What he thought, that his parents were forcing him. So he asked his friend Anuj, whether your parents, now you became a photographer, no, a photojournalist, whether your parents, because of your parents, have you become the photojournalist? He asked the question. Oh no, laughed Anuj. I started on my own with journalism and then took up photography much later to make the stories alive visually. Then, after a pause, he said, is the pressure at home bad? See, for the question asked by Vikrant, whether there is a pressure on you to become a photojournalist, Anuj replied, oh no, he laughed because the face appearance of Vikrant made him to laugh here. Oh no, laughed Anuj. I started on my own with journalism. See, because this fellow, that is Anuj, he wanted to become something in his life with his own interest. He wanted to reach at some point. So he's saying that I started on my own with journalism. He started studying journalism, and then he took up photography subject. He began to study that, and much later to make the stories alive visually, so that by the help of journalism, whatever he has studied, he want to make still better it, and he want to make it as if it is alive visually, means observingly. He want to bring uh, what to say, he want to bring something curiosity in his photography. So what he did, he became a photographer. He is saying that he became by his own interest, not by the interest of his others, and no pressure was laid upon him. So when he told like this, what happened, explaining about himself, after a pause he said, is the pressure at home bad? See, he is asking the question for whom? Vikrant. Is the home at pressure so bad? Is it so bad? Is it tortured? Is it bad? By this we can understand that the parents of Anuj did not force him, and he was a active child. He want to gain something, he want to become something. He had put goal in front of him and he had reached the goal. And this about Vikrant, he is not understanding how the life goes further, how to lead a life further. So he is in a confusion. Because of the confusion, he is unable to tackle the problem with his parents. And a friend named Anuj helped him in every walk of his life here. See, that Anuj also is asking a question. What he is asking? Is the pressure at home bad? So sometimes pressure will be there in the home. For example, when you are attending online classes also, the pressure is there with your parents. I agree with this, because sometimes you may be not listening very neatly for the classes and you have to attend the examination. So parents, after hard work, after giving a number of sacrifications, what their intention is, their children, that is yourself, who are here listening the class, they must have to reach, they must have to become a good persons in the society. They must have to work hard, they must have to be get good personality. They must have to become a good person in the society. All these things will be forcing for them. So because of all these reasons, the parents will be forcing their children. And it is not like that parents, they want their children to do hard work, they want their children to study, always study. And is the parents going to get good marks? They want their children to get good marks, so that they can achieve something in their life, so that they can become they can well settle in their life. Because of these reasons, parents are forcing, that's all. They are not having any desires with you that our son, daughter, they will become if we force them, they are going to reach certain point. After that, when we become old, our children may help us. No, these dreams are not there with any parents. Every parent thinks about the future of the children to become better. For this purpose only, today, though there are no classes in majority of the school, your parents, by the help of your school, has arranged you for the online classes so that you may become better than others. This is the main intention of your parents. See, they are giving so much of sacrifications, and so you must have to utilize those things, and you must have to obey the parents. You must have to work hard. You must have to get the knowledge. Let us see in the next class what is happening with Anuj, and what he advised for Vikrant, and how Vikrant later in his days became a obedient child of his parents. Let us see in the next class. Until then, have a good day.